And we are going to be talking with Taiwo, and we're very excited to hear um Taiwo's talk about self-assessment, a growth pointer, and he's going to be talking about self-assessment. And he's a Nigerian-based software engineer working at Grace Health. He studied electronics engineering in university, but hasn't practiced for a day. He's a huge community person, loves open source and cats, and he's been an amazing part of our virtual coffee community. So I'm going to hand it over to Taiwo to get us started in the second round of Lightning Talks.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me. I'd like to share my screen. Okay. So good day, everyone. It's afternoon over here, evening actually. Welcome. My name is Taiwo, and today I'm going to be talking about self-assessment and how it is a pointer to growth. So you might ask, okay, why self-assessment? Why not something else? Like it could be anything. Well, why not? Why not ChatGPT or yeah, because I really wanted to give a talk about ChatGPT. Well, I figured like a lot of our problems stem from our not knowing ourselves. The bulk of the disappointments we have in ourselves and others comes from unhealthy expectations that we have of ourselves, which also links back to the fact that we don't know ourselves. We don't know our limits. We don't know our power. We don't know what we have and what we do not have. And this goes as much as affecting uh, potentially life changing decisions, decisions to do this. Who do I stay with? Who do I want to be in a relationship? Where do I want to work? And things like that. So I figured today I would like to talk about that. And since it's not a particularly techy conversation, it's something that affects everyone. So yeah, I figured why not? Let's talk about it. And let's move on. What's self-assessment? Because I'm not a professor, like Becca said, I haven't really practiced my major for one day. I'm just gonna give the simple answer, and that's like assessing oneself. Okay, maybe you don't like that, but okay, I'll bite. I'll just go in depth a little bit, at least with what I understand as a self-assessment. So basically, self-assessment that will be the process, an introspective look into oneself. Like, okay, looking at yourself and reflecting about what your personal experiences, what your professional experiences are, your strengths, your weaknesses, your goals, your what's your purpose, what do you want from life, basically. And it's not just life, everything that makes up life. What do you want from your work? What do you want from your relationship? What do you want from your friendship and stuff like that? And basically determining the delta between where you are today and where you plan to be or hope to be tomorrow. And that's very, very important in the conversation. So the knowledge of these things, yes, they might scare people, but if the knowledge of these things don't get you closer to your goals, your purpose, they will not take you far away from them. So most likely by understanding this, you get to do what? Strategize better. And that's really, really my understanding of self-assessment or self-awareness, as the case might be. And I mentioned something the other time, like, okay, the delta between where you are today and where you'd like to be tomorrow. That's kind of give like a connotation of a standard or like a reference point. Yes, I believe as human beings, we are dynamic beings. And if you personally, I would give an example. If I've never seen a badass engineer, my perception of being a badass engineer will be different today. And today I aspire to be that kind of badass. If I've never really seen a person that was a badass engineer and a badass human being, like very, very good, awesome, human being, I would have thought, oh, is it really possible? Engineers, what I see them to be on Reddit. So self in this case might not necessarily be restricted to yourself. Yes, the bulk of the work starts with you, most likely ends with you. You get to do the rigorous work, but it also goes through other entities, that it involves external entities and not necessarily yourself. So that could be your friends, that could be your mentors, that could be your family, and many things like that. That could be books, people that you've never even met. So sometimes knowledge of those things, which you might get from sources, not necessarily yourself, will help in the bid to assess yourself. So now enough with all of this jibby jabber. What do I gain? Don't. We're trying to keep this talk short, not long. Well, what do I gain? There is a lot to gain by, and I think I might have mentioned quite a number of them. Foremost, you're gonna save yourself a lot of stress, a lot of heartbreaks, because knowing yourself will keep you level-headed at certain times, because you know, okay, if I were to be in that person's shoe, I would have done this too, because you know yourself, you know what you do and how you do it. But in this case, I would say it increases self-awareness, and we know self-awareness is kind of um it's central to a lot of things. It affects our self-esteem, the self confidence, affects a lot of things, like literally it's very very key to a human being. And it also improves goal setting. Like, for example, you're a junior, you don't even know how to write JavaScript, and your goals in the light of not knowing how to do that will reflect trying to get better if you were on the right path. But if you didn't know this and you started reaching for things that are not necessarily near to you, things that you're not supposed to even start to think about at this particular point. So knowing yourself, knowing your weaknesses, knowing your strengths and other things will help set your goals, improve it in a way that your goals are easy to reach, and you have better decision making, and you also have a greater sense of purpose and direction. You know what you want. You know, whatever you do it with intention and purpose. Like, okay, this is what I want from this, and this is what I'm going to get from this. So all of this and many more, which can be a little bit subjective, you gain from being self aware and assessing yourself in a way. uh, if you do not know yourself, how do you know what you're capable of? If you do not know, okay, I'm a very, very person that excels in a very fast paced environment, how do you know if you are able to do that? And yes, there is always risk involved, but sometimes knowing that, oh, I can do this, oh, I learn fast, oh, I can do this, can certainly help in making a lot of decisions. And like I said, sometimes it affects potentially life changing decisions. So that's it. How do I conduct self assessment? To keep it simple, because this talk is already long, I would say SWOT analysis, basically. Now, this is what among many things, this is just one of many things. Like, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities that you have by the virtue of who you are, where you're from? You know, what are those things that you have as an opportunity? And what are the threats? And I believe, with regards to anything in life, if we break this down, that thing in life down, we can definitely sort this out. And with our strength, we capitalize on those. With our weaknesses, we try to improve those and, set the battlefield in a way where we will not be set up to lose. As a fish or as Aquaman, I'm not going to fight on land. Yeah, because I'm Aquaman. I'll take you to the sea and I'll most likely win. So things like that, I believe, they're just one of many things. Although we have to mention that you also have to set time aside for reflection. It's important because we're human beings, we're dynamic. Uh, I'm 24. What I was 4 years ago is very different from what I am right now. And what I will be in the next 2 years definitely is different from what I am today. So it's a constantly changing thing. And you also have to constantly follow the trend. So there are challenges that comes with self-assessment. And I think the bulk of them is about staring at yourself in the mirror. And as it comes with a lot of vulnerability, because at that point those things that you might have spent the whole of your life trying to run away from, those weaknesses that, yeah, the painful, you don't want to see them, you don't want to know them. Oh, my code doesn't look very well. Those weaknesses, when they stare at you, sometimes it can be a little bit daunting. But well, we go, you try again, you embrace the challenges, you use them as opportunities for growth, and you know where to focus your effort on. And basically, a wise man really said, a man's reflection may be his toughest critic, but facing it is the first step towards growth and self improvement. So, a wise man said that yesterday. He can, yeah, that's very, very good. And this is a screenshot of a self aware man, talking to ChatGPT because he doesn't know how to write it. Yeah, so self-aware, he knows it's gonna be hard to put that in the slide. Okay, ChatGPT, give me something that's short, and we can throw it in the slide. So yeah, self-aware, know your weaknesses, and figure out solutions to them. This is just an example of one of those. So conclude in the conclusion. Now I'm running up. Self-assessment is a very valuable tool for personal and professional growth. We need it. We need to look inward, take time to look inward, figure out our weaknesses, figure out our goals, figure out the goalposts, and set them right, and capitalize on our strength to win. Make sure we don't we work on our weaknesses so that we can get better, and overall, everyone will be better off. Thank you very much. I hope it's as short as I planned it to be. Hello.
Thank you so much, Taiwo. That was great. I think self assessment is one of those things that we need to constantly build into our routine because it can be really hard to get back on track if we've fallen off the self assessment train. And it's something that helps us to move forward even when it's really hard. So we very much appreciate you being here to share all of this information with us.